It's time for SEC Pigskin Picks, live from Catfish County, featuring Coach Billy Jack Hoover, Shelley Sizemore, and me, Professor Thorndike Sinclair.
Thank you, Professor. Well, you know, it probably doesn't show through my announcer voice, but I'm in a bad mood tonight. I don't even feel like talking about the games.
What's wrong, Coach? Catfish County made it the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, didn't even allow a first down. Won 98-0. I didn't want to run up the score.
And we were 8-0 last week, making us 73-12 for the year.
Yeah, I know.
So what's the... Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what's wrong with you, Coach.
Oh, so you're a psychiatrist now, Professor. Been watching one of those doctor shows on TV or something?
No, but it is pretty obvious.
Well, I am dying to hear.
Sounds to me like you're in a bad mood because you don't have anything to be in a bad mood about.
That's ridiculous, Professor.
Let's test it out. Do you have a $20 bill?
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Here you go. So what? What'd you do that for, Professor? I was going to buy supper with that.
Feel better?
No. Now I'm mad at you. But I'll tend to that later. Let's quit messing around and talk about some football.
Let's start with Texas A&M versus Alabama.
This one may be closer than a lot of people think. A&M quarterback Johnny Football continues to rewrite the A&M record book. And Alabama had an emotionally draining win in Death Valley against LSU. But this Aggie defense will be no match for Eddie Lacy and the relentless Alabama ground attack. Look for the home crowd to help Bama pull through. But it should be a good one to watch. Now give the good people the lowdown on Arkansas at South Carolina.
Arkansas is now 4-5 after squeaking by Tulsa last week. Hog Dennis Johnson found the end zone in the fourth quarter to give Arkansas the go-ahead touchdown. They've got to win 2 out of their final 3 to get bowl eligible, and one of those games comes Saturday in Columbia. Steve Spurrier's Gamecocks had the week off last week to regroup and figure out how to move forward offensively without Marcus Lattimore in the lineup. I predict that South Carolina will carry the fight to Arkansas and win easily. Likewise, number 5 Georgia will manhandle hapless Auburn.
And Mississippi at LSU has now become the battle for the Capital One Bowl. Both teams fell to Alabama in consecutive weeks, effectively ending either's chances to play in the SEC championship game. LSU is hurting, but it's not as bad as Les Miles' ear was hurting. Did you see that, Professor?
I was waiting for it to come out the other side. After that fake field goal he called, lots of LSU fans were thinking there wasn't anything in there to stop it.
Yeah, that's funny, Professor. Anyway, LSU will still pull together and salvage a good season. And it'll get a little better when they take care of Mississippi State on Saturday. And down in Gainesville, there was some wind damage last week.
From the hurricane?
No, from the Gator Nation breathing a sigh of relief when Florida slipped by Missouri.
That was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, but this one won't be. Florida will beat Louisiana Lafayette like a drum.
Correct. Now let's talk about Tennessee's record-setting defense. Record-setting in a way that no Vol fan wants to think about.
Yeah, Tennessee fans had to wait 58 minutes before their offense finally put away Troy. The Vol defense yielded a record-setting 721 yards and 48 points. However, Tyler Bray set a record of his own, surpassing Peyton Manning's single-game passing yard total. When the dust had settled, Tennessee had one of their most unfulfilling victories in the program's history. This defense cannot be fixed, Professor.
We have to talk about Missouri quarterback James Franklin's 235 passing yards against the Gator defense on Saturday. If he threw that much against the Gators, then he may well double that in Knoxville. It's going to be a shootout, Coach. In the end, Tennessee will still be winless in the SEC.
All right, Professor. Get Shelley Sizemore on the phone. She's on the way to Mississippi for Vandy versus Ole Miss. And remember, you still owe me $20.
I'd rather owe it to you than cheat you out of it, Coach.
Hey, everybody. This is Coach Billy Jack Hoover. You know, I told you to visit www.beaverdamusa.com. Well, there's not much to see there yet, but I promise you it'll get better. You got my word on it. Now back to the show. All right, welcome back to SEC Pigskin Picks. We're joined now by Miss Shelley Sizemore, who is on her way to Mississippi for the Mississippi Vanderbilt game. Shelley, what are you doing?
Living large, Coach.
Where are you?
Somewhere between Nashville and Jackson on a fancy tour bus.
Now, who are you with?
The Dillinghams. They're some of the biggest Vanderbilt fans in the world. He's a big-shot Nashville bank executive, and let me tell you, they really know how to throw a party. We've got champagne, pate, lobster tail, foie gras.
I've heard of that. What's the difference between foie gras and liver?
About $8 a pound. We've got flat screens, big screens, surround sound, and their driver is British. Can you beat that, Coach?
Talk about the game, Princess Shelley.
What gap? Oh, yeah. Well, Vanderbilt shut out Kentucky last week, 40-0. It was their first SEC shutout since 1968 when they held Kentucky scoreless. The Commodores are 5-4 right now, and they are ready to win out. Jordan Rogers threw for 218 yards against the Wildcats, and he'll take an on-5 Vandy team into Vaught Hemingway Stadium. Meanwhile, Ole Miss is also 5-4, but they lost badly to Georgia last Saturday. To make matters worse, the Rebels led the Bulldogs 10-0 before yielding 37 unanswered points. Ole Miss only rushed for 46 yards during that game. It's going to be a good one, but me and the Dillinghams say the Dawes will win it.
Sounds good, Shelley.
Now, I've got a great idea, Coach.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Let's put some of this gourmet food on the menu at the Beaver Dam. We can put hummus dip out on the bar, stuff like that, but no caviar.
Why not?
We've all cleaned enough fish to know that caviar is something that goes in the bucket, Coach.
You got that right, Shelley. So long, and so long from the Beaver Dam Roadside Tavern. For Professor Thorndike Sinclair, this is Coach Billy Jack
Can I have some
Hoover.
more of that?
Now remember to follow
Joe,
me
will
on
you pass
Twitter
me
at
one
Coach
of those,
Billy
please?
J, and follow Shelley at
Just one more.
CHELY
Just one
Sizemore.
more.
Now give me 20 slackers.
Coach, I wish you were here.